Hello everybody. It's about the vernacular architecture and sustainability. Bale Tengah is a symbolic representation of a life cycle conception of the Tenganan community.
So this is the authors. So the first author is Kadek Saputra from Landscape Architect Department. And then the second author is Gusti Suartika is from Architecture Department. And then the third author is Naniek Kohdrata from Landscape Architecture. And the fourth author is Agus Dharmadiatmika from Landscape Architecture Department. So all the authors came from Udayana University, Bali, Indonesia.
Okay. Well, the first of all, this is our context of study. So the first step, we're looking for vernacular architecture. So Rudowski said on his book on architecture without an architect. So vernacular architecture does not go through fashion cycle. It is nearly immutable, indeed unprovable, since it serves its purpose to perfection. As a rule, the origin of indigenous building, form, and construction method is lost in the distant past. So because of these things, so many of the vernacular architecture has their uniqueness. So on this research, we would like to see on the Balinese settlement, or traditional settlement. So it was a Tenganan. So Desa Tenganan is the one of heritage architecture and tradition in Bali. So if we're looking like the traditional settlement, so the traditional settlement are still exist until this era. And also for the traditional houses, they have a three typology of the traditional houses. So the typology one is for the biggest area, and typology two is the medium area, and the typology number three is a small area. But is this in this typology has the same buildings, and then at the step number three, we think about lost the identity. So many of the vernacular houses in the world are missing their vernacular architecture. So the example is this is tried to write by Nabajit Deka. So he's tried to write the missing vernacular architecture in Assam, and the other perspective in Indonesian also, in the Bali also. So it's a Bayung Gede is already lost their identity because they are focusing to follow the modern era. So the modern era has many people following because it's easy to construction, it's newest material, renewable energy, simple concept, and many more. This is our purpose of study. So number one, we will explore the life cycle concept of architecture and tradition at the Bale Tengah. And number second, to make a digitalization about the Bale Tengah housing and concept. And number three, to explore how the community make a word sustainable are pure sustainable. And then number four, to explore about five determining elements of architecture, such as form, function, material, structure, and construction. Okay, so our research method is qualitative explorative. So the primary data is observation, deep interview with SIP of villager and local community at Tenganan. So the secondary data is like a literary concept, like a concept of Balinese housing, concept of traditional Balinese housing, religion, and etc. And then the analysis step, after we collect all data, we try to think about the architecture that born from local tradition to conceive the safeguarding of sustainable tradition of the architecture. So we will explore about five determining elements, such as form, function, material, structure, and construction. So for the literature review, first of all, we would like to share about the Balinese architecture. So in Bali, we call it traditional Balinese architecture. So ATB is Balinese meaning. So architecture traditional Bali is the same like traditional Balinese architecture. So there are four foundations to make architecture. in Bali. So the first is religious foundation. Number two is philosophical basic foundation. Number three is technical foundation. Number four is ritual basic. So all this review will explain on the data, based on the data. So number second is religious foundation. So religious foundation in Hindu, we are believe in Rua Bineda. So Rua Bineda is Rua is two. Bineda is different. So it's different meaning. Something like black and white, and a girl and boys, up and down, live and die, so something like that. And this concept are born another concept. So it's called samkara. Samkara. So after live and death, they have a three-step in the world. So after they are born, they will live. After they are live, they will death. And after that, they are do reincarnation again. So this is the cyclus of this is called samkara. Okay, and number three is philosophical foundation. So philosophical foundation is a lot of in Bali, but here I will share it with the major of it. The major of it is Trihita Karana. And then Trihita Karana born Trianga, Triloka, and Trimandala. So Trianga is we divide the houses into three parts. So the first part was Utama, is the head, is the roof. Madhya is the bodies and the walls. And the Nista is foundation. Yeah, and then the other concept is sustainable concept. So this is still debate and discussion in the world. So it's just like a Suartika side on 2010, 2010. So the word sustainable is meaning like sustainable for living. So how they are capture the resources, how they are still keep the resources, and something like that. And another perspective is came from Siwalatri. Said sustainable architecture is meaning keeping sustainable environment, not only physical, but is also spiritual thought. So it's mean there are two aspects. So need to make a sustainable, like a physic and spiritually. And then we're talking about Bale Tengah, Tenganan. So Tenganan is the traditional village. It's located on the Karangasem, Bali. So Tenganan have a strong awig-awig. So because of this awig-awig, Tenganan has ability to resist against a modern era. So this system that has been formed and made Tenganan village has a uniqueness and very strong attraction for tourists. So one of the masterpiece that are very unique is Bale Tengah. So Bale Tengah is one building. They are still exist on the one side of the community. So this is like a housing for a community. So the Bale Tengah form and function. So this is a little bit. I will share it to you. So Bale Tengah was the settlement was divided into three zoning. So the first zoning was for Parahyangan, the second zoning in the middle was Pawongan, and the last zoning was Palemahan. So the Pawongan, the Bale Tengah was exist on the middle of the side. So on the Bale Tengah was Pawongan side. So this area is function to make a harmony between human and others. Is something can do it like how to live, how to communication, and how to maintain the life. So in terms of shape, in terms of form, so the Bale Tengah has a simple geometric shape because of we are through with the trianga. So we divided the body into three. So it will be a head for a roof, a body for a structure, and then for the foot is foundation. Yeah, and then the function. So the Bale Tengah has a lot of function. So the first function is to uh, to maintain the birth. When baby was birthed here, so the family need to stay here until 42 days. So in Tenganan, this in the word is abulan pitung dino. It's the same like 42 days. And then the other function is uh, for bathing the dead body here. And then they try to make a different orientation. This is the unique one here. So the body will put on this belly on here, and the orientation of the head will be to the north, and the orientation of the foot will be to the south. So it's mean this is like a kind concept of Gua Bineda. So the other places was mountain, and the other places on the south places was sea. And then after they taking bath of the bodies, they bring it to the cemetery or graveyard, and they bury the body on the cemetery. The body on the cemetery has a different orientation. So the head was orientation to the south, and the foot orientation to the north with the baby shape. Why it become like this? Because Tenganan village are believe that all the ancestor will coming from the north and then stay on the Bale Tengah and then give the life to the baby on birth on that time. Yeah, and another function of this Bale Tengah is for sleeping and for rice barn on the top of the roof, on the middle of the roof. This is the unique one also. So when they are sleeping on the Bale Tengah, so the orientation of the head are different in the Bali common. So the head will be followed to the core uh, of the corridor of the settlement. So if the building was on the east side, the orientation head will be on the west side. And at the same, so if the housing on the west side, so the head will be orientation to east side, something like that. Yeah, and others topic is structure, construction, and material. So in here, Tenganan, they are using what you call it, a traditional material came from forest. So Tenganan has a forest, and they have a lot of wood, such as Katewel wood. Katewel was jackfruit woods, and then a champaka woods and bamboo also. So all of the material are came from the the Tenganan forest. Okay, this is like the design of the Tenganan Balai Tengah construction and material, and all of this structure are using woods joint. So they can repair it, they can make a new house, and when something need to be repaired, it just put it out and put the new one back again to the house. Okay, this is the conclusion. So the conclusion is showing us the life cycle. So when they born, baby must stay here until 42 days because they are believing some ancestor will coming, and then the incarnation with to the baby, and then after that, this Bali Tengah is also used for living. For living, they are used for sleeping, for community gathering, and something like that. And when the dead, this place is also to place to betting the cadaver. Yeah, and this all of these step have a different uh, different what you call it ritual. So when they born, they have a different ritual. Maybe when the house is born, so it's ngeruakin. So and then when they leave, is a nguripin, and the death is a pralina. So it's something like this. This is like a life cycle concept of Bali Tengah. Okay, that's it that I can share it to you. So we would like to thank you to Putu Wiatnyana, the Chief of Desa Tenganan Plingpot. Thank you for your attention. I hope we can see you again on another event. Thank you so much.